Hi everyone, I'm Sajid Shroff. I'm the head chair of the Carthage Crisis Committee this year. I'm a junior here at Cal studying computer science and peace and conflict studies. In my free time, I like to watch movies, read books, play badminton, browse the internet. So in this committee, we'll be covering a period in Mediterranean history where two giant kind of powers were switching places in a sense. So Carthage was really the dominant economic and to some extent military power, at least in the western part of the Mediterranean, for a couple centuries. And then after they fell, the Roman Republic and later Empire rose. And obviously, everyone's heard of Rome. A lot of people haven't heard of Carthage. I don't know about you guys, but when I was in school, the word Carthage was just never mentioned to me. And that's really sad considering how great, how amazing of a civilization it was, and actually how many elements of society today stem from ideas that came out of Carthage. So kind of the point of this committee and the reason we chose to do it, or we chose to focus committee on Carthage, is so that people can learn a little bit about what Carthage is, what it contributed to the world, and kind of how powers rise and fall, and hopefully use that knowledge to inform the way you think about the United States government or whatever government, right? But just the way you analyze institutions, the way you analyze governments, the way you analyze societies at a broad level in general. Some advice for this committee. There's definitely a lot of ways that you can be tripped up as a delegate, and there's a lot of things that you can do beforehand to prepare. So the first kind of issue that comes up when dealing with the Historical Crisis Committee is people tend to want to follow the historical record. And while that's a perfectly valid thing to do, obviously you're emulating the historical figure representing best if you're doing exactly what they did. That's not really the point of this committee. It's not just to act out history, right? At that point it's a play, it's not really a Model UN committee. So the point of this committee is to maybe use some of the knowledge that you gain in hindsight, plus adapt to the changing circumstances we're going to throw your way, as your character would, and make the best of the situation and kind of achieve whatever your character's goals are. And I know that's a really broad statement, but I just want to make it really clear that we don't want delegates to just always try to return to the historical record. Because sometimes a character wouldn't do that, right? Or a historical figure wouldn't do that in real life. So that's one. And number two is really research what's going on, and when you research, keep an open mind. Because, a lot of the time you have I have preconceived notions of what Rome is, of what Carthage is. Actually, I didn't really have a preconceived notion of Carthage because no one told me about it. But we have these preconceived notions of, classical history and, like big white statues, marble pillars, all this, all that. That's not really how life worked. So when you're doing research, not that you should forget everything you knew beforehand, but really keep an open mind into figuring out how people live life every day, during this time period, and what life was like in Carthage, how Carthage was founded, all these things. Just make sure when you're researching, first of all, do a lot of research because it's really important, but make sure that you're approaching it with an open mind, approaching it with that maybe some of the stuff I know could be wrong, because oftentimes it is, and that's why we do research, and that's what makes Model UN so great, is because you get to learn about that stuff. So excited for BMUN 67. See you all in committee.